This is ABC7 News at 6. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us. Our top story this hour, 3 men have been charged with animal cruelty after a video of them dragging a shark behind a boat went viral.
Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission finally wrapping up a 4-month-long investigation into the matter. ABC7's Jess Dowdrick joins us live tonight with the latest in this case. Jess?
Jacqueline, Scott, FWC investigators say they sifted through more than 60,000 pages of evidence in this case. Everything from search warrants to interviews. They also had help from a 4th man who they say was on the boat the day of the alleged incident. And because he cooperated with police, he was not charged. This video was captured in state waters off of Egmont Key in Hillsborough County. The men sending Mark the Shark, a famed deep-sea hunter, the video.
I guess they sent it to me as soon as they did that, thinking I was going to give him my blessing and laugh it off. When I saw that, I couldn't believe it. I was appalled. And I was just like, whoa, nobody does this to any animal. You know, what kind of human being are you guys?
So he posted it on Instagram and the video went viral, ultimately leading to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission's investigation.
I've never seen anything like that in my life, but I think they did a great job. And I think punishment should be handed out accordingly.
3 men have now been charged with animal cruelty. 21-year-old Michael Wenzel, 28-year-old Robert Banak, and 23-year-old Spencer Hines. Banak is the son of Manatee County Commission Chairwoman Betsy Banak. Wenzel, the son of Manatee County Planning Section Manager Robert Wenzel. I tried to speak to both employees at the Manatee County Government Building today, and we're told both Wenzel and Banak were out of the office. I also went to their homes. No one answered the front doors. Now, according to FWC, the maximum punishment for these men, if convicted, 5 years in prison and up to $10,000 in fines.
These guys aren't sportsmen, people. They're just a bunch of idiots going around and doing crazy stuff to animals.
Investigators were able to determine that the shark was still alive when it was being dragged. In a statement, State Attorney Andrew Warren says, quote, the State Attorney's Office is committed to holding these men accountable for having engaged in such senseless and unjustifiable animal cruelty. Local sportsmen say if you respect what you're doing when you're out on the water, this wouldn't happen.
I don't know what was in their mind when they did this, but I think it's very good that the FWC has charged them, and it'll come out in court what they did or whether it was wrong or not.
The FWC says their investigation is complete. However, they did receive some more pictures and videos that were sent to them from the community after the shark video went viral, including one of MTV Siesta Key's reality star Alex, who was allegedly shooting a hammerhead shark in the video. Now, according to the FWC Facebook page, they have turned that over to federal investigators. Now, the rest of the cases that were handed over to them through pictures and video from the community, they say were outside of the statute of limitations. Reporting live in Sarasota, Jess Dowdrick, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Okay, thank you so much, Jess. Manatee County Sheriff's detectives are searching for a second suspect in a home invasion. Back in June, 4 suspects armed with long guns broke into an unlocked house in the Greenbrook subdivision of Lakewood Ranch. One of the suspects, Robert Bayless, was arrested at the scene and charged with home invasion robbery. Detectives are now looking for 20-year-old Joseph Capozzi. The incident appears to be drug-related, and anyone with information should contact the Manatee County Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers at 866-634-TIPS.
Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies arresting a Sarasota couple in connection with a string of burglaries and vehicle thefts. Earlier this month, detectives responded to several reports of stolen vehicles and burglaries. Investigators found the stolen items listed for sale on Facebook by Sean Valleco and Elena Marie Colton. Both are now charged with 4 counts of burglary, 4 counts of grand theft of a motor vehicle, and a single count of dealing in stolen property. Investigators say additional charges are possible.
The City of Venice is investigating how a city staff member approved an additional $1 million on a city project. For months now, an outside engineering firm has been removing large pits of lime from Pinebrook Park. The lime is left over from an old water treatment facility. The city is spending $2.5 million to remove all the lime, but the project ran into some complications and required an additional $1 million. Rather than the city manager or city council approving the funds, a city staff member did it instead.
When they made that determination, that's when they should have come to me and said, here's our situation, in which case it wasn't a crisis then.
The city manager said the staff member did not know the correct policy on approving funds. He also would not say if any disciplinary action will be taken against that employee.
Well, a winter-like day here on the Suncoast with chilly temperatures to most of us, at least below normal. Meteorologist Steve Newman would like it warmer. That's what he says to me, right, huh?
That's right. Steve? And the record low for this date, Scott, is 21 degrees. It can get cold here. This is not cold. These are the temperature change from 24 hours ago. 9 degrees cooler in Tampa, 10 in Orlando. But look at our airport, 15 degrees cooler right now than it was at this time yesterday. But this is all going to change. I shouldn't have to be showing you this 24-hour temperature change graphic for a while because it's going to even out. We're not going to have these big temperature swings for a while. It's the start of a warming trend, and we do have some high clouds streaming overhead, but you should have clear skies to look at the Geminid meteor shower, which I'll be talking about in about 15 minutes or about 10 minutes from now. It's really a quite extraordinary light show sometimes. Radar shows nothing going on. In fact, the Weather Service in Tampa and Jacksonville are doing routine maintenance on their radar sites since there's no chance of any rain. And these are forecast lows. I think you might like this a little better, Scott. 51, 52, no 40s. If you want it cool inland, mid-40s in the drier air. And here's your evening planner. No problem for the clouds with the Geminid tonight. 54 at 7 o'clock, cooling off to the low 50s overnight. A little more clouds toward dawn, so get out and watch those meteors early on. I'll tell you all about them in just a couple minutes. Scott?
Okay, thank you so much, Steve. It was a huge victory for Democrats last night in the Alabama Senate race. Doug Jones narrowly defeated controversial Republican candidate Roy Moore.
Democrat Jones edging Moore by 50 to 48%, so a Democrat now takes over the U.S. Senate seat in Alabama, which is one of the reddest states in the country. Some say this is a very significant victory.
Shot. Many things had to come together in just the right way for Doug Jones to pull off the victory, and they did. I think the immediate significance is one less vote for the Republicans in the Senate.
We'll hear more from local Democrats and Republicans regarding the Alabama Senate race coming up tonight at 11. Governor Rick Scott is sidestepping questions about whether he knew about allegations of sexual misconduct against one of his top appointees. Former Representative Rich Workman abruptly resigned last week from his job as a state utility regulator. His resignation came after State Senator Elizabeth Benaquisto said Workman had touched her inappropriately and made vulgar comments to her at a charity event. Benaquisto had a private meeting with Scott early November, but today the governor refused to say whether or not she talked to him about Workman. Governor refusing to answer questions on the same day he ordered a new sexual harassment policy for agencies that report to him. Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, the Thomas Fire in California, now the 5th largest wildfire in modern California history. When meteorologists expect some rain to fall in that area, put a stop to the fires.
And the man accused of plotting the terror attack in New York City appearing in court for the first time today. New information about his motive when we come back.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone. Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Attention type 2 diabetics. The FDA warns of an increased risk of amputation associated with certain diabetes medications. If you took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation or one of these other serious injuries, call the Rely On group right now. If you've suffered amputation or any of these injuries after taking your diabetes medication, call the Rely On Group today. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA has recently warned about an increased risk of leg and foot amputations associated with the use of certain diabetic medications, such as Invokana and Invokamet. If you or a loved one took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation, ketoacidosis, kidney failure, or even death, call the Rely On Group now. We are here to help you get the justice you deserve. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-355-8205. That's 800-355-8205.
I heard about the Ketoacidosis Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Ketoacidosis Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Ketoacidosis Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.
The Thomas Fire in California now stretching from Fillmore to Santa Barbara County. Here's a dramatic look at that fire as it burns near Montecito, California. It looks more like a lava flow than a wildfire. Firefighters have contained 25% of the massive fire in Southern California, and it's a hopeful sign that crews are making headway as winds in the area decrease to 15 to 25 miles per hour. The outlook for rain, however, remains grim. Meteorologists expect it to stay dry for at least the next 7 days. At more than 236,000 acres in Ventura and Santa Barbara counties, the Thomas Fire is now the 5th largest wildfire in modern California history.
Follow up now to the failed suicide bombing in New York City. The man accused of plotting that attack making his first court appearance today. Burned over his arms and torso, Akayed Ullah appeared in court via video conference. The 27-year-old is accused of trying to blow himself up with a homemade pipe bomb beneath New York City's Port Authority bus terminal. He's charged with 5 counts of terrorism, including the use of a weapon of mass destruction. Authorities believe he planned the attack for about a year and acted alone. They say Ullah identified with ISIS and was angry about the way Muslims had been treated in the Middle East. They believe his radicalization began about 4 years ago online.
Well, stay with us. Steve Newman will be back with your first alert weather forecast after the break.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline. If you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death, you must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
There's nothing like this trail in Alabama. It just goes from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state. We see all kind of different terrains, great value, great fun. We've been coming for 18 years. We started off with a group of 8, grew to 12, and grew to 16. And we love it because where else can you get world-class golf courses with world-class accommodations? To be able to play these type of courses in this environment, and the difficulty keeps us coming back over and over and over again.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com. AND services.com.
Turned into a really nice day, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah.
It was chillier this morning, though.
It was chillier all day. 10 degrees on average, cooler than we were this time yesterday. 15 at this hour. So it is going to warm up, and we have a great weekend ahead. And great holiday season ahead, too, from our long-range forecast. But look at this. This is the last hour or so looking from our tower cam at a gorgeous sunset over the Gulf of Mexico. Sun setting right now at 5:38. We've gained 3 minutes in the evening of daylight since the earliest sunset occurred back on November 30th. And it's just going to get better and better as the evenings get brighter. 53, the current temperature at the airport. Dew point 46 with a humidity of 77%. These northwest winds are going to shift around to the south, bringing in more moisture and milder temperatures starting late tonight. Now, it was cool this morning, 45. We should be at 54, and the high only 63, more than 10 degrees cooler than normal. But it can get, as I said, Scott, 1962, it was down to 22 degrees. So it wasn't all that cold. Here's our satellite view showing a few high clouds streaming over us. But really, I don't think there's anything in the way to get in between you and the Geminid meteor showers later tonight. Now, if we look back over the Gulf, we've got a lot of high clouds streaming our way that will be here probably closer to 3, 4, 5 in the morning. So you've got most of the night to enjoy this meteor shower, which sometimes produces spectacular fireballs, and also maybe about 1 meteor per minute on average. You could go a minute or 2 or 3 without seeing anything at all, but I look to the east after sunset, which it now is, and you can see the Orion's belt. Most of you can spot those 3 stars in a row. Look to the left of that, and you will see Castor and Pollux to help you identify the Gemini constellation, and the meteors radiate from that. And they're caused by a very strange object that scientists don't know exactly what it is. Most meteor showers caused by the debris left by comets. This is not really a comet. If it is, it's one that's used up all its snow, or it just could be a rock passing by. That's what they're telling me anyway. Across the Great Lakes, a snowy night. They're not going to see the meteor showers up through here because one after the other, they've had 3 snowstorms. And we're still getting lake effect snow in the upper parts of the Great Lakes. And here is the forecast for that particular Alberta Clipper, very quickly hitting the New York City area by the morning commute, but again moving quickly out and leaving cold temperatures in its wake, and more lake effect snow setting up by tomorrow afternoon and evening. Not pleasant. Now there's the weather pattern showing that dip in the jet stream over the northeast and bitter cold over eastern Canada. So by comparison, our weather is pretty darn good, and it's actually going to get better. 72 at Los Angeles, 54 at Albuquerque right now. Here are weather headlines for our Suncoast. Look for it to not be as cool tonight, and look for it not to be as cool for the next several days as we get warmer, a warming trend with more clouds through Friday. And by the weekend, by Sunday anyway, we could be touching the low 80s, 81, 82 degrees. That's what we're thinking will happen by Sunday. Here's our future cast show. High pressure out here in the Gulf, and as it moves on past, we'll have a more southerly wind developing. I don't think this is rain that's going to hit the ground. The computer model is overblowing that. And a front will come through, probably dry by late Friday evening, setting the stage for over the weekend, a great weekend with high pressure again building. The wind's turning from the south. We have another front coming in on Monday from the north. I don't think that rain will quite make it to the Suncoast, but stay tuned. That forecast could be updated. Here's my forecast for the rest of tonight. Look for it to be clear and not as cool, low 50, average would be 55, and tomorrow fair to partly sunny skies, sometimes more clouds than sun. It'll be cooler. The high temperature 72 with those northwest winds 5 to 10. And then for the next 7 days, look at this. We warm up to 73 by Friday, 75 Saturday. Sunday, look at this, 81, 82 on Monday with that slight chance of rain from the front. And it stays dry through next week and not all that cold. So that's our weather forecast I really like giving.
Coming up, the Sarasota Ballet takes you into the world of the Nutcracker, Sarasota style.
First out the door when it matters most. For more than a decade, he's been right there, everywhere. And when American jobs are on the line, he leads the charge. ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir is America's most watched newscast, and we thank you.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
This holiday season, share the greatest gift of all, peace of mind. Nobody beats Subaru in service quality, vehicle quality, and overall quality. And ALG named Subaru the 2017 top brand for residual value. Now during the Subaru Share the Love event, you can lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback, for just $229 a month. Or get 0% financing with zero down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Come out and enjoy a taste of Hanukkah this Sunday, December 17th from 3 to 6 p.m. at Phillipi Estate Park on 41 in Sarasota. Everyone is invited. Admission is just $5 for adults. Children are free and free parking. See the world-famous Bellonac, BMX trick stars, and more. Delicious gourmet kosher foods, music, and a 4-ton snow slide. Fun for the entire family. A taste of Hanukkah this Sunday, December 17th from 3 to 6 at Phillipi Estate Park.
Have a great holiday.
Happy holidays from ABC7.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Here in the Suncoast, we have our own special holiday traditions.
The Nutcracker Ballet is popular all over the world this time of year, but here on the Suncoast, the beloved ballet has a circus twist. ABC7's Linda Carson has more in the Spotlight.
John Ringling's Nutcracker is a combination of the traditional Nutcracker and the story of John and Mabel Ringling and the circus. Choreographer Matthew Hart created the tale. He says there are a lot of similarities between the two stories.
One of them being that in the Nutcracker, Drosselmeyer has a nephew who is the Nutcracker, and in John Ringling's story, he also has a nephew, John Ringling North, and I made him the ringmaster, which is very close to the Nutcracker in costume.
It tells Mabel Ringling's story.
She died quite early in their lives. I made her the sort of fairy on top of the Christmas tree, and John Ringling brings a Mabel doll to the party, the Christmas party, and it's put at the top of the tree.
She comes to life in Clara's fantasy dream world.
Mabel comes down from the top of the tree and she dances with John Ringling one last time.
Clara meets John Ringling originally at a big society party in New York.
He basically takes her away to the circus in Act 2, and they come down to Sarasota. Yeah, he introduces her to the circus and to all the stars of the circus.
The Sugar Plum Fairy and the Prince are a little different in this nutcracker.
My Sugar Plum Fairy and my Prince are actually trapeze artists in the circus, and they're called Sugar and Prince.
Kate Honea is Sugar.
When the curtain comes up in the second act, we are on the trapeze at the beginning, which is kind of scary for us.
Lucas hasn't done the trapeze before, but he's familiar with the rest of the show, especially one scene.
We have a little tango in the first act too. So I'm coming from Argentina, so I'm really happy about it because it's a little tango piece, dance, and it's beautiful.
It was the tango that started Lucas on his ballet career.
I started to dance tango when I was 11 years old. And then I know, it was really fast. Everything changed really fast, and then when I was 15, I was at the bar taking ballet class.
Nutcracker was what inspired Kate to become a dancer.
That was my first ballet I saw when I was 7 years old. I saw the Miami City Ballet do Nutcracker, and then the next year when I was 8, I went and auditioned, and I was an angel, and then I was Clara, and then I went through all the roles, and I've been doing Nutcracker for over 20 years. And I just, want to inspire another little girl out in the audience to become a ballet dancer.
Linda Carson, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
I absolutely love that it has the circus theme. I mean, how many times you can see the Nutcracker over and over again? It's always beautiful, but a circus-themed Nutcracker sounds
perfect
awesome.
for this area.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you're tired of the cold weather, I have good news for you. It's just about over, especially by the weekend. You can see warming up to the low 80s by Sunday and Monday. I'm liking it.
All right. Sounds wonderful. Thank you so much, Steve.
World News Tonight with David Muir is coming up next.
We'll see you again at 11. Have a good night.